As an orc, I respect tradition. It is tradition for high-ranking orcs of either gender to have multiple partners. I joke with my human GF that she is undesirable BC I am her only boyfriend. She got extremely upset and refuses to speak to me. This never happened with my orc girlfriends. Aida? Commander. Why are you petting me? Sorry. Your species resemble earth creatures called cats. It's a force of habit. Well, don't stop. Admiral Smith. Isn't this what we've seen in movies and books a dozen times before? The machine disobeyed orders. It has gone rouge. Defendant HYRZMK6, I detected no weapons. Orders were to fire on unarmed civilians. Violation of international law. Programming forbids action. Knights in shining armor rarely know what they're doing. What you really want to see when you're in danger is a knight in dull, beaten up armor. Your house has an attic that only appears to exist on alternate days. You just usurped the throne from your incompetent parents, and plan to be a tyrannical dictator. But you realize that it's hard for people to know they're oppressed when they have nothing to start with, so you resolve to improve their lives, so you can enjoy oppressing them in a few years. As the bride and groom put on their rings, a guest whispers, but they were all of them deceived, for another ring was made, and puts on a ring as well. After hearing chants of rock and stone for centuries, every single race, magical being, and magical creature decide to wage war on the dwarves. It's gotten to the point where they don't care if they live or die. At least they won't hear it anymore. Despite being the weakest undead, ghosts are a menace because the living are unable to harm them. So when a vampire moves into a haunted house, the first order of business is reminding the ghosts why they're at the bottom of the undead food chain. The cultists never realized that the god they were trying to summon by sacrificing you was you. You're sitting on the jury of a murder trial, but despite all the strong evidence from the prosecution, you still believe that the defendant is innocent. The reason you believe that is because you were there when it happened. The plane you're on begins its descent toward Miami. Your Spotify shuffles to your favorite 80s hit over your AirPods. You look out the plane window and are stunned to see very real giant letters in the sky. It reads, Rockstar Games presents, quote, Your sister acts as if her stuffed animal is alive. After a near-death accident, she starts claiming that Mr. Stuffles saved my life. The adults see this as coping with trauma. You, as the previous owner of Mr. Stuffles, on the other hand. Urgent. 10k gold to any who rescues the princess. The polymorphed dragon grabbed the parchment off the notice board and shrugged. It was a little out of character. But gold is gold. You meet a paranoid conspiracy theorist, but after some Googling you realize he's only talking about verifiably true conspiracies that just no one seems to care about. The tyrant looks down at the battered and defeated hero. Let me tell you a secret, Chosen One. I'm the author of that prophecy of yours. It was all rigged from the start. Life is incredibly common in the galaxy. In fact, every stellar body, even stars and black holes, accommodate life of some kind. Which is why you were all the more surprised when you came across a devastated ruin of a planet, completely devoid of all life. The worst part of fighting your enemies is that even if you crush their army, their banner-bearer could never be slain. Not for a lack of trying. Dodging your warriors' attacks, they would march right past your soldiers, heading straight back to their capital. Something is circling high above the field. You can't quite tell what it is, but you get the feeling it's following you. On a whim you decide to yell at it. It starts descending.